very pleasant evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us on the news segment of Dateline. My name is Princess Modi. In a deliberate move to dissuade youths and other categories of persons from the use of hard drugs in the state, Governor Sharif Oborowori has approved the commencement of the Drug-Free Delta DFD sensitization campaigns across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. The governor has also directed the State Orientation and Communications Bureau to immediately partner with the State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and other stakeholders with a view to dissuading youths and other categories of persons from the use of hard drugs. Chief Executive Officer of the Bureau, Dr. Fred Ogenesive, who disclosed this while speaking on a public affairs radio program, said the State Command of the NDLEA had officially confirmed its readiness to deploy personnel to work with the State Orientation Bureau towards planning and executing result-oriented sensitization campaigns that would focus on the negative effects of illicit drugs and provide free counseling and rehab, and the NDLEA were targeted at the youths, especially those in secondary schools and institutions of higher learning, so as to discourage them from the use of hard drugs. The commandant of the NDLEA, Abubakar Wada Esquire, was working around the clock to raid all red spots where hard drugs were sold and used, especially the office of Senator Ede Dafinone, the member representing Delta Central Senatorial District, in collaboration with the Robo Progressive Union, UPU, America, has organized a one-day sensitization program on science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and artificial intelligence, STEM AI, for students of Roboland. The STEM AI awareness program, held at the Robo College, Efuru Uwe local government
of Ogba Educational Clinic, Dr. Kelvin Dafiago, charged teachers of Robo College to impact into the students the knowledge of artificial intelligence in order to build a transformative technological society. He said the essence of the program was to create awareness about STEM and artificial intelligence among young people, adding that the event had provided basic introductory training on AI application development for students and participants. The senator appealed to teachers to encourage the students to remain committed with STEM AI knowledge, saying it was a significant step to equip the technological world, adding that it will help the learners create simple AI applications.
And by artificial intelligence, I mean the machines are becoming intelligent and able to do tasks that were previously unthinkable. So what is this AI? AI simply means machines are becoming intelligent. Machines are able to multitask and do tasks which were unthinkable. AI simply means that the robot is getting some level of intelligence and is capable of doing things that would save man from a lot of stress.
The resource persons commended the senator representing Delta Central, Senator Ede Dafinone, the Robo Progress Union UPU America, for their contributions, support, and encouragement at ensuring the success of the program, and enjoined them to sustain the tempo. The event with the theme, "The Robots Are Coming," highlighted the growing impact of robotics and AI in daily living, the future job market, introduction to the basics of AI application development, and fundamental sustenance. The event featured 5 practical sessions, including hands-on training, how to use 3D printing technology, its applications and operations of a 3D printer, virtual reality introductory concept, among others.
President Bola Tinubu has issued a directive to reduce the size of Nigeria's official delegations under his supervision. He stated that the decision to streamline Nigeria's delegation to the 79th session of UNGA in September was part of the administration's commitment to ensuring prudent management of resources and reduce the costs of governance. The Chief of Staff highlighted the need for the State House and agencies under his supervision to ensure their functions were guarded by statutes, regulations, policy decisions, and presidential directives. He stated that the President directed that anyone without business at the UN General Assembly should not travel to America. The Chief of Staff urged heads of agencies at the retreat to comply strictly with the directive. He added that the President was listening to the concerns of Nigerians and was committed to addressing them diligently. Honorable Gbajabiamila noted that the retreat would facilitate collaboration and coordination among government agencies, particularly those under the direct supervision of the State House. The one-day retreat was themed Strengthening Institutional Mechanism for Effective Delivery. Vice President Kashim Shettima established their organizations in preparing the 2025 budget. Senator Shettima, represented by Senator Ibrahim Hadija, made the call during a retreat for the chief executives of the ministries, departments, and agencies of the call circular for the commencement of the 2025 budget exercise. He emphasized the importance of institutionalizing e-governance to improve operations. Senator Shettima said the retreat was important as it reminded senior civil servants, new appointees, and heads of agencies about the imperatives of the civil service regulations. Earlier, the Permanent Secretary, State House, Mr. Olufunsho Adebiyi, explained that the retreat was designed to foster collaboration and create synergy in the operations of State House and agencies. Retreat of the House of Representatives Committee on Banking and other ancillary institutions with ANCON in Enugu. Honorable Nwachukwu said the move was intended to expedite the resolution of ANCON cases, many of which involve significant financial recoveries for the government, adding that the task force aimed to ensure that 350 debtors representing over 80% of AMCON's total loan accounts fulfill their financial obligations and contribute to the country's economic recovery. He expressed disappointment that 350 Nigerian obligors are mismanaged running costs collected by NAS members will build trust in democratic institutions and strengthen the rule of law. The organization noted that the failure of NAS to act on its recommendations within 7 days of the receipt and publication of the letter will be met with appropriate legal actions. The executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Dr. Zach Adedeji, has revealed that the federal government will forward a bill on the regulation of cryptocurrency to the National Assembly. Dr. Adedeji made the revelation in Lagos during the 2024 stakeholders' engagement with the Senate to achieve its mandate. The executive chairman of the FIRS commended the members of the Joint Committee on Finance for the favorable impacts of legislations that were passed by the National Assembly, especially those that mandated the MDAs to remit 50% of their revenues. He said the passage of the windfall bill would increase the FIRS ability to meet its targets, bring more revenue, and redistribute the wealth. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has cautioned Nigerians involved in the export of processed or semi-processed foods. Director General Professor Mojisola Adeyeye affirmed the determination of the agency to remain steadfast in enforcing the regulations, which served as legal frameworks to ensure compliance across all sectors, including manufacturing, importation, exportation, distribution, advertisement, sale and use of the regulated products. She said the regulations were rooted in the agency's enabling laws and clearly defined the boundaries of acceptable practices, including penalties for any violations, adding that the measures were vital for maintaining Nigeria's competitiveness. The Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare has condemned the abduction of 20 medical students and the house officer in Benue State. The students and house officer were kidnapped by gunmen on Thursday evening in Benue State. It was reported that the students from the University of Maiduguri and the University of Jos were traveling to the Federation of Catholic Medical and Dental Students Annual Convention in Enugu State when they were attacked by gunmen in Otukpo, Benue State. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoku, has dispatched additional detectives to Benue State to assist in the rescue of the abducted medical students. Mr. Egbetoku had also ordered the deployment of tactical operatives and assets, including helicopters, drones, and tactical vehicles to ensure the swift rescue of the kidnapped students. Relations, Mr. Adobako expressed its readiness, its sadness, and concern over the kidnapping of the students and house officer. The statement urged relevant security agencies to intensify efforts to apprehend the perpetrators of the heinous crime and bring them to justice, and called on those engaged in such criminal activities to cease the acts and respect the sanctity of human life. The ministry also expressed solidarity with the families of the kidnapped students. The Benue State Governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, has urged security agencies to redouble their efforts in ensuring the safe release of the 20 kidnapped medical students in the state. Reverend Father Alia made the call in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Teso Kola, in Makurdi, Benue State. The governor condemned the abduction of the medical students who were traveling for the Federation of Catholic Medical and Dental Students, FECMDS, annual convention in Enugu State on Thursday evening. The Anambra State Commissioner for Youth Development, Mr. Patrick Agamba, and his wife. The state government confirmed the release of the couple today. Agamba and his wife were released on yesterday's night. Mr. Agamba's aide, ABK Ofia, who was traveling with them, was shot dead by Ludo. The press secretary said no ransom was paid for their release, adding that their release was achieved through divine intervention. Abroad, opposition supporters today gathered across Venezuela to protest against Nicolas Maduro's disputed victory in last month's presidential election. Opposition leader Maria Machado joined thousands of protesters in the capital, Caracas, and urged them not to be afraid. Ms. Machado, who had been in hiding after being accused of insurrection, said there was nothing about the voice of the people and that the people had spoken. Police and the army were deployed in force as supporters of Mr. Maduro also held a demonstration. Ms. Machado, who was banned from running in the election, had called for nationwide protests to intensify pressure on Mr. Maduro to concede. Mr. Maduro has insisted he won a third 6-year term, but the opposition released tallies, it said, showed its candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, winning by a wide margin. Since the election, anti-government protests have flared up and hundreds of people have been arrested by the security forces, which remain loyal to President Maduro. Back home and in business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has denied owing International Oil Trade $6.8 billion. The company also refuted claims that it has not remitted funds into the Federation account since January. In a statement, the NNPC Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Mr. Olufemi Shoneye, responded to various allegations against the state-owned energy firm today. Mr. Shoneye emphasized that NNPC was not a regular and did not oversee the quality of imported fuel, adding that the body was open to media inquiries about its operations, in line with the company's commitment to transparency, accountability, and performance excellence (TAPE), as established by the Mele Kyari-led management since 2019. that the proposed recapitalization will create new barriers to entry, but could also benefit the sector regardless of the outcome. The immediate past president of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, Mr. Edwin Ibiti, noted that it would introduce fresh barriers to entry in the sector, which was struggling with low penetration. He described Nigeria as having the highest base as an industry, stressing that though capital was needed to run a business, excess capital was counterproductive as a capital turnover of about 10 times was expected. According to reports, a new bill entitled Nigeria Insurance Industry Reform Bill 2024 was introduced on the floor of the Senate recently, seeking to increase the minimum capital base of the insurance companies. The bill, sponsored by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions, Tokunbo Abiru, and 41 other senators, said the minimum capital requirement of life insurance companies will rise from the current 12 billion naira to 15 billion naira and general business from 3 billion naira to 25 billion naira. Sports: Manchester City have reportedly set a Christmas deadline for Pep Guardiola to decide his future at the Premier League club. His current contract expires in the summer of 2025. The English champions were not willing to go into the new year with uncertainties surrounding goodbye Christmas to ensure the search for a suitable replacement in case he decides against signing a new deal. The 53-year-old has been at City for 8 years, the longest period he has spent at any club. Earlier this summer, Guardiola hinted that he could leave the club soon, adding that he was closer to leaving Etihad than staying. And now to some entertainment news. Comedian and actor Oluwaseyito Lawrence, popularly known as Seyilo, has said that despite being constantly trolled online, he is at peace with himself. Regarding his new position as a senior special assistant on entertainment and tourism to the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedetiwa, Mr. Law said that he aimed to drive the vision of the governor, which was to transform the entertainment and tourism sector of the state. The comedian also insisted that he did not get the appointment because he supported the president, who belonged to the same All Progressives Congress as the governor. Mixed reactions have trailed Paul Okoye of P-Square's recent and made up several times, with the latest being in November 2021. Showing signs that there were cracks in the extended family's relationship, Paul had, shortly after the birth of his twins with his estranged wife Anita, issued a warning to an unnamed lady, accusing her of making efforts to disrupt the peace between brothers. Of French cinema, known for his tough guy persona on screen in hits including The Samurai and Borsalino. He passed away in his home in Dochi, surrounded by his 3 children and his family. Once described as the most beautiful man in the movies, DeLon starred in hits from the 60s, including The Leopard and Rocco and His Brothers. He stole the hearts of fans, whatever role he was playing. Film appearance grew rare. right, welcome back. And now to our Dateline reports. Christians have been enjoined to strive to win unbelievers to God by living exemplary lives. Pastor Isaiah Olutunde of the Spirit and Life Family Bible Church, Asaba, gave the charge in a sermon at today's service of the church. Henry Usiayo reports.
Pastor Olutunde, in his sermon titled "The Joy of Soul Winning," admonished believers not to relent in doing good works and spreading the gospel of salvation as commanded by God. The cleric, who took his text from the book of Luke chapter 15 verses 1 to 7, said there was joy in heaven when a sinner was won to the kingdom of God. He enumerated ways to win souls to include prayers for guidance from the Holy Spirit and testimonies.
The life of each and everyone on earth is highly important unto God. And that's why he opened the way that whoever look unto Jesus will be saved. Because he wants the death of any sinner. So there's always joy when a soul is saved.
The service featured the presentation to God of baby Jade Ogenevise Okuchuku Otolo by his parents Mike Otolo and Mrs. Glory Otolo, a member of the news department of the Data Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba. Henry Usiayu reporting.
All right, and now to our thought for the day. Sometime. And on that note, we'll conclude the news segment of Dateline. My name is Princess Modi. Do have yourselves a beautiful and blissful night rest. Good evening.
Let's go! No. Let's go. If we continue like this now, where will we go end? Bros, calm down. I know say it be like see all of us the best now. But more will not say any damage where we they cause now to our own state. And when we talk